Exploring anger's role in growth, challenging norms to empower personal transformation.
Like genders, but I don't know. It just made me think about our breath work, and in that women often don't feel like they're allowed to be angry. And I don't know. Did you scream? What'd you do, girl?
Well, breath work is definitely a big modality that I practice, and it helps me access that emotion.
Yeah.
And allowing myself to feel it. We don't allow ourselves to feel it, to take that space up, right? Anger, I feel like anger has such like a negative connotation, like, and it's okay to feel angry, and allowing yourself to feel it, that it's okay to be angry and also whatever other emotion, right? Even going through grief, like having sad moments, but also having happy moments, and having those coexisting emotions, and allowing myself to have capacity to feel that too. And to be there, and just to let that be there is difficult. So,
anger is that's why I love that movie Inside Out, y'all. If you haven't seen it, but
yeah,
it's such a good
especially the
movie.
second one.
Yeah, the second one's great too. But yeah, anger is such it gets a bad rap. It gets a bad rap. And speaking about the gendered position, it's interesting because you all know, but I work with I specialize working with men in therapy, and we talk about anger all the time. And for men, socially, it's easier to be angry.
SES.
Like it's easier, like growing up in a traditional Mexican household, like anger is like, it's like peanut butter and jelly, right? It's like,
Peanut butter jelly.
and I don't mean not in an abusive way necessarily, right? But just like, it's like you get angry, you yell, like, it is what it is. You get the angry drunks at the family party, right? Or whatever. But at the same time, so it's almost easier, especially for a lot of men, to feel and express what they're feeling as anger, which protects a lot of us men from feeling the more painful things like grief, like sadness, like vulnerability, like feeling alone or fear. And so it's easier to slam a door than maybe actually like admit that, man, this, to your point, this just sucks. There is no silver lining.
Yeah.
There isn't a silver lining. It's just actually, it's just like, it's like grabbing dirt and like, putting it in your fingers and in your hands. It's nasty. It's just like dirt. It's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Anger is a very natural emotion, and it can mask, it can hide, and sometimes it's hard to access.
It is hard to access. Yeah. Through body, at least for me, through body modalities has really helped me access anger, and giving myself space to feel and to sit with whatever's coming up for me in the moment. But a lot of women, it's like you got to be woman-like, ladylike. This is not ladylike traits to be angry. Right?
It's not demure. What's
It's
it
not
called?
demure.
Very
It's not
demure,
mindful.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. So I talk about that in sessions with a lot of my women clients, and allowing them to feel angry in session.
SES.
Even somatically, having a vocal release. When do we scream? We don't, but our body needs that release. That body needs that to come out. So how do we do that? We do it somatically in session.
I'm on my road rage.
Yes, right?
Low-key, yes.
Road rage, kickboxing class, weightlifting, whatever.
Yes, movement, yes, exercise.
I wonder for, as you were saying, Kaylee, like sometimes with anger, it's like you have to repress it almost at times. I wonder if there's like this notion where it's like when anger comes up, at least for yourself, like there's like this notion of I have to, or I feel like I have to repress it because if not, then it's a burden to other people. And other people almost inflict that on others of like, oh, you're sad, let's kind of repress it because it's a burden for me to have to console or whatever it should be. Versus for men, it's like, no, there's only two emotions, either happy or mad. Like those are the only two emotions that are socially acceptable in some ways.
I didn't know I was going to therapy today.
Yeah.
Just four therapists,
Yeah.
four therapists hanging out together. That's all.
Anyway, yeah, I think so. In my family, I feel like, yeah, I think it's the way that I'm described. I'm the positive one, the happy one. So I think when, I don't know, I think along the years though, I have gotten, my family will tell you, I've gotten more comfortable, allowing irritability or other emotions to come along, but it does come for me at this point with a lot of guilt, because I feel at times like, oh man, like I allowed my irritability or my anger or my upset to show, and that must have made this person feel this way, and I feel crappy about that. But I mean, sometimes it's warranted, like sometimes I'm annoyed for a very valid reason. And so it is a learning process. And like you're saying, VD, I think it's one thing sometimes for us as therapists to support our clients, right? Like sometimes I'll hear things with my clients and I'm like, I'm so angry listening to these things that they're sharing, right? And like, how dare this person do this to you? Let me go see where they're at. No, but it's a different thing to hold that same level of intensity of anger for yourself. So it's a practice, but yes, therapist, it's true. You got me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How has anger helped us grow? How has anger helped? Because we're talking about, this episode really about what has helped us evolve and grow. And we can look to a lot of external factors, right? Like Vidi, you were sharing with us grief, loss, traveling, difficult, experiences of resiliency. And there are these things too internally, right? Like our emotions that we all have.
Yeah.
I reference the movie Inside Out because it's real, guys. And since we're talking about anger, that's a question I'll ask to all of you. How has anger specifically helped you grow and evolve?
Anger has been one of my, I don't want to say top, but it's like, it's one of my significant forms of motivation. Because when I'm angry, I realize instead of taking it out on, yelling, I'm not a yeller by nature, like that's just not who I am, but like I can transform it into motivation and drive in order to get things done that maybe I've been putting off, or like, I'll eventually get to it. It literally lights a fire under my rear end. And I will become hyper focused and just inspired to do something. And whether that's healthy or not, like it works for me, and maybe it might not work for all, but that's how I use my anger.
Are you angry a lot then? Because you stay motivated, homie. Like, are you always angry?
That's my secret.
You stay motivated over there. He stays angry is what I'm hearing.
I love that. You stay motivated.
I stay angry because I stay motivated.
And I pick myself.
That's funny.
I don't know.
How about for you guys though?
Yeah.
When I look at anger,
I'm like,
I'm
trying to think.
All right, well, I'll jump in then.
No, go ahead.
When I look at anger, it's something that was a familiar emotion growing up, and like in my community, in my culture, my family, it was it was familiar. And it could be very scary for sure. But how it's helped me grow, I think it's now I'm going to therapy and all that lovely stuff, right? On our journeys, anger helps me. It's the biggest alarm bell for me to know that something's not aligning for me, where I'm either feeling betrayed, trespassed, not reciprocated, maybe not attuned to, not listened, where something receiving or viewing is not aligned with kind of myself. What I deem as just, what I deem as right, what I deem as socially equitable, what I can go on and on, but anything that just doesn't jive with me, when I notice I'm feeling angry, it's usually because something is happening that I haven't actually like realized yet, but it's compromising parts of myself. So my anger part is reminding me, hey, there's something that we are not okay with, and until we address this, I'm going to keep reminding you. And so Alejandro, you you get up and you figure it out. And you address, because I'm not going to continue I'm not going to continue co-signing this.
Yeah.
So I think that's how anger really has helped me kind of figure out, oh yeah, that's right. So
It's constructive for you, right?
all of our parts are, I would say, yeah.
Parts work over here.
I know.
Sorry,
Okay,
I love
parts work.
yeah.
Y'all, we're taking you to therapy in this session.
Parts work for sure. I resonate with the not aligning part for sure. When it's something's like bothering me, that anger part comes up, and also it something I'm not expressing either. Going back to communication for me is, am I having a level of resentment towards this person because I haven't communicated my need, but also I'm angry? Have I communicated it, whatever that is, right? But also just thinking about the alignment as well. I really resonated with that when you said that. And what can I do about it? That's the action part. What can I do about it? Am I gonna express it? Am I gonna sit with it? What am I gonna do? Yeah.
Am I ready to act on it yet?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, yeah, do I need to slow down? Do I need to pause, give myself space before I express it, before I communicate it, before I address it, whatever it is. Yeah.
Or maybe I just need to like sit with it
Just sit with
and
it,
not do anything about it.